What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and right here we do have the RTX 4090. Yeah, that's right. This is an RTX 4090 in my PC. The 5090 is released today. I don't even think they should call it a release date because it's more like a paper launch to see how many people would stand in line and how bad Nvidia could manipulate the market. We're probably not going to see a real launch till sometime in March or April or May or something like that. Now, the paper launch of the RTX 5090, which that's what I feel this is. This is a massive paper launch, and Nvidia is trying to see how bad they can play the market and then, keep prices high and stuff like that. I don't think the real release for the 5090 is going to happen till probably March or April or even May, when we actually start to see some stock coming in. They're showing up on eBay for already 10,000 USD, but this is a build. Be Quiet sent me this case and some power supplies and everything. I'm still waiting for 9950 X3Ds, but this is a build I've been waiting on for quite some time. This is the new Dark-Base Pro 901, and this case is freaking huge here, even bigger than my Dark-Base Pro 900, and it's white here. Obviously, I'm trying to do an all-white build, and that is obviously on hold now until we can get some 5090s in stock, as well as the 9950 X3Ds. Also got the white light loop for that all-white build. Obviously, I'm not going to get my hands on any white 5090s anytime soon, but we also got two power supplies here. The Power Pro 1600 watt, two of these bad boys. I'm ready to build some 5090 rigs, but there's no 5090s available. Click, 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 click. Oh, I just friggin' missed it. I'm just kidding. That wasn't even close. I don't even think they had any in anywhere. But what is this? They can't even ship to Quebec due to packaging laws over at Best Buy. And remember, guys, the Founders Edition is always the cheapest version out there in Canadian prices. It's pretty much $2,900. That works out to be, depending on your province. In my province, it's around $3,160 to $3,180 or something like that. We do only have 5% GST here, or other places do have sales taxes of upwards to 10 to 15%. So we're a little bit luckier in Alberta. And all the AIBs is going to be a lot more expensive than the Founders Edition. And that's what you're going to see at the majority of the stores. Best Buy is one of the only places you can get in Canada anyway, the Founders Editions. And the AIBs, in my mind, are just rip-offs anyway, because they're just an overclocked version that you don't need for anything in the first place. And they're also the versions that end up melting. So if we start to see 5090s melting, most likely it's from AIBs. Now look at this, and it says sold. Does that mean somebody actually bought this? But here is an RTX 5090 FE sold on eBay for 10,000 USD. $10,000 for a 5090. Like, what? Nvidia is going to see this and like, well, you know what? We may as well sell ours for 9,000 because people are paying 10,000 for one of these things. This is absolutely insane. But there are people out there, keep in mind, guys, there's people out there where money doesn't care to them. They just want the best, and they don't care how they get it. They'll spend anything just to get their hands and say, look, I got a 5090. Awesome. I spent 10,000. I spent 20,000. Money's no object. I'll do it. And there are people out there like that. So keep that in mind as well. For most of us, there's no chance in hell any of us is going to be paying $10,000 for a GPU. All right, so supposedly Cryptex does have RTX 5090 hash rates. Are they accurate? I doubt it, but you never know. We don't know until we see some real testing here. I was hoping some people I knew were going to get their hands on this, but it just looks like supply stock, which we'll look at in a minute, was bad. But here, let's have a look at some hash rates here. And here we have Kapow for Nuri AI, Chlor AI, Kapow and stuff, 85 mega hash. We're going to compare that to the RTX 4090. So I'm just going to kind of look for something like Ravencoin here, and we can see 65 mega hash, and we're supposedly getting 85 mega hash. So that's a pretty big uplift when it comes to Kapow. Kapow, you don't really get much hash rate out of cards. So, that's a pretty big jump coming from there with that core and memory coming into here. Let's look at something more memory intensive. That's supposed to be the biggest boost when it comes to 5090. So they're estimating or, giving us some numbers here. These could be estimates. They could be real. We don't know, guys. Remember, and Ironfish did go to memory, 108 mega hash. Let's look at the 4090. Let's go to Ironfish. Now, remember, the 4090s didn't really get any uplift in memory since 3000 series. It's pretty much the same as a 3090 when looking at the 4090. The big boost with the 4000 series here was the core was massive. And a lot of coins came out were core-based and efficient and so on, but now they're all moved over to ASICs pretty much. There's an odd few left, but not many. And they will be ASICs soon as well. But coming in, we can see 82.5. And then we're coming in here to 108. So, you know what? I don't think these are accurate. I feel, I could be 100% wrong, but I feel due to the memory boost and, the uplift that we should be getting, we should be seeing a decent amount more hash rate than 108. But if this is correct, then obviously it's not really looking that well. Next, I don't care about anymore. Dragon Ball ASICs are on that, so it doesn't really matter. Carlson is exactly the same as Ironfish. They just forked into their algo. Ravencoin, same as Kapow. We've seen that. Ergo is an interesting one, 355 mega hash. So this is touching on the memory side again. Let's look at the 4090 and have a peek at Ergo here. We are getting 265 to 355. So, it's almost 100 mega hash boost, 90, 95 or so. That does seem like it could be where it's at, but, maybe it should be a bit more. Zealous is an interesting one at 59.5. Let's see what Zealous is doing here. Coming into Zealous here, we are at, what are we at? 43.8 kilohash and 43 to 59. That's a decent boost. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. But yeah, for the most part, I still think we're going to be seeing better numbers. This Kapow does seem decent. Maybe these are legit numbers actually now that I look at these. So, it's not a huge boost in the memory side like we were thinking, but it is looking like some of these core-based are mixed between mem and core. Like Kapow actually does use some memory there, guys, to fully utilize the GPU. This is a pretty big boost if you straight out look at Kapow, because it's hard to get hash rate on Kapow and it uses so much power and stuff. So, these could be real, but again, once we actually get hands-on and test these ourselves, we don't know 100%. Now let's just get an idea of the stock that's kind of been distributed here. So here's Celix in Discord here coming in, and this is the 5090s distributed per Micro Center store in the US. And Micro Center usually gets a lot of GPUs. There's a lot more 5080s than 5090s here, but we can see total in all of US in these stores here, only 233 between that. There's probably over 233 people standing in line at one of these stores that have zero even coming in. So that's how bad it is. There's no this is probably the worst stock drop. When we had the shortage way back when, and 2021, COVID, 2022, stuff like that, and they're doing GPU drops, we had a lot more happening then, and it was really hard to get your hands on a GPU. So now it's a lot harder. It's a lot less. This is a major paper launch, I feel, and this probably shouldn't even be a release date. They had the time. They're ready. There's no shortage, guys. People are selling chips and CPUs and building out like the yin yang. They're all over the place. So saying there's a shortage to get chips for their GPUs and stuff here, that's probably wrong. I think they probably did actually have a lot more, but I bet you a lot of back-end, backdoor, closed eyes deals went on, and then the consumers that stand in line, like you guys and myself and everything, you actually get ripped off, and they just kind of give you, okay, we got to send a couple out there so it looks like we're trying to launch. But, someone in the background probably ordered thousands of these and got their hands on them, because when it comes to NVIDIA, we know money talks. Oh, and it looks like YOLO here did post something that the 5080 is already unstable and not looking good, which, that's normal, new stuff, they should be tested a lot better and stuff. But there's going to be a lot of glitches happening at first till they update their drivers, get things going and so on. But, it's looking pretty rough for the new gen GPUs at this current point in time. All right, guys, so what's your thoughts and opinions on the RTX 5090 or any of the 5000 series that's set to release very soon? 5080s and 90s was today allegedly. I don't think that's really the case. And then obviously we got the smaller guys coming in a couple months here. But let me know your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.